Jumdending Gombon Jahoraya La Janzalo, Congo Lodrö, Dumni, Dumder, Nyata, Namdara, Serve, Jenny, Donga, Jimja, Niji, Dagarala, Kanda, Debi, Dora, Maru, Mando, Demura, Jezarve, Roto, Gala, Vajet, Yala, Dubje, Yantan, Tudor, Jeto, Numo, Nyalo, Leje, Zado, Dumza, Maru, Maze, Demura, Nyaga, Jenny, Jamza, Rata, Doni da zhang sa jin da zhou yong de le zhou jie zhi de shi zhao zhi dang zhi ni jian zhi da lu men zi ren jia hu rang yang la an de de Umara ba za na 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 de Umara ba za Umara ba za na de 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 Umara Bazana de Tudun Jijin Jero was Iriki, Dolu Dame Mambaravza, Guadan Damju Jolu Dobai, Ludu Rubi Nava Jid Soro, Yoji Jimbo Tudun Nimi Jan, Zoni Molon Jimbo Nabjat, Pakara Dangam Zandu Jama Do, Tomba Tiji Jala Shanzalo.
We are going to begin now with this afternoon's teaching. And we are going to continue teaching on the text parting from the four attachments.
Tani jemba jiptrika nala tanang ngato ina ngatso tini ta tsinda la jina chupa menzini ta ngatso chupa zipshi samna tani mamta ina tani ta tsinda takdak la jina te zindrika mare zini tani ta lojita tanang ngamo kondu chapa tere.
So in this morning's teaching, we address the first of the parting from the four attachments. If you're attached to this life, you're not a true spiritual practitioner. And in the first of these teachings, we learnt about how becoming a true spiritual practitioner requires, in the very least, or as a basic minimum requirement, not being solely attached to this existence.
Tani ta tsika nipati la gari zegre zina tsik nipati tani korwa la jina ngimjong man sone tani ngimjong ko sambati yakboz kirgona tani kamsam korwa la tani majin ba tani zgore sone ta tsika nipati tere ngacho terang shidu shayati tsika nipa ga ton tere.
And so the second line is, if you are attached to samsara, you don't have renunciation. And this line addresses attachment to the three realms of samsara. If we have this, if we are attached in this way, then it is not possible for us to have renunciation. So the second of the four attachments will be the subject of our teaching for this afternoon session.
Ta tarwa tani chu dribna tani tarwi lam tani 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 dribna tani yenda manda ngimjong de yogo red.
So if we are practicing in the path of liberation, then it's absolutely essential that we have renunciation.
Tani nga cho tanang ina tani nangchu la tani lobjong da nyamlim shi na tani damga sam yo sone tanang ha motif shapare tati damga sam de sern dana Dordana ning na la dana chokondo tani chiti tharwa aso tharwi lamlan rowata chiti tini da nerkab ka tharwi lamayen na nerkab ka tini soso rana la tini demo da ke boyon ya tini ga tini lam kha ni reze.
So this morning we spoke about three choices that we have in respect of our study and practice of the Dharma. It's actually possible to condense these choices down to two fundamental choices. That is, the choice between entering into the path of liberation and a choice to, for the time being, not practice for the purpose of liberation, but rather for our temporary happiness in this life or in future lives.
Teni shirtang azo nangchu te na korang teni gurzi tsongkang chaoshi gurzi tsongkang tawa teni ziri ti nangla mangpo zi teni ndo tape na gurzi tsongkang chiga nangla teni jaga jalak teni gong chenpo yang yore gong tsamo yang yore ramda mangpo ndu teni rapo zi teni azo nangchu nangla teni sanga dorje thakpa yang yore teni thakpa chenpo re teni thakpa chong re teni lhami thakpa re taso nangla teni shirtanga teni ti chu mangpo zi ti nangni soso ranga gang teni lo nyamlim shi samna teni chokre.
We can say that in fact Buddhism is rather like a supermarket. That is, there are many choices that we have available to us. So just as in a supermarket there are items that are more expensive, others that are cheaper, items of all different kinds, so too in Buddhism we have the teachings of the Vajrayana, the Mahayana, the Hinayana, the worldly vehicle, and as to which of these we practice, the choice is our own.
Tani di so nani tani so ranga tani pena ngarang tharwa ga lamla tani ro yin zena tani ta tharwi lamla ro ki charkin te so yak boz changgo re tani ngarang ga chula lojung che ge yin da yin nga tharwi lamla ro man tharwa ngarang la thom murgo ngarang la sarje yang thom murgo dabjum ba yang thom murgo tani zena tani jitin lami tani ta thaba te la lojung che nan de ge te yin na tani ngimjong te go mare Garti tharwa ga lamla tin ro yin ngarang tharwa thobya ga chu tin ji drib ko yin zena tendi yin da manda ngimjong te go re.
So if we want to enter into the path of liberation, then it's necessary that we possess the basic requirements or the basic conditions for this path of practice. If our intention is to study the Buddha's teachings but not to attain liberation or to attain the state of arhatship or Buddhahood, then it is okay if we simply practice according to the motivation of the worldly vehicle. And in this case, it is not necessary that we cultivate renunciation. If, however, we are intent on pursuing liberation, then renunciation is something that we necessarily must cultivate.
Tani shirtang atsu sargi jundande kongotini chusong ne kabnayang tim mu susu korangatini sambala tini tani chusong bare Dema toba tini kyu yindamanda tini tarwi lam dribgore zerata kyarang yindamanda taba chimbo dribgore kyarang yindamanda tini dorji taba lobgore zerata tini yomare rana soso gang lojong shi samna tini ti lojong shi na chokore yinna ti nani karting atso tini shanchib ku sim tini ki tab sona tini pe yakshu to tini ta tarwi lam la rotona tenga sola pantok chishu ti diri.
So when the Buddha gave his teachings, he did so according to the disposition and levels of his listeners. So he didn't say, for example, you necessarily must study the path of liberation or you necessarily must study the Mahayana or the Vajrayana. Really the path that a individual pursues is up to them to decide. Of course, it is said that if it is possible to cultivate bodhicitta, then entering into the path of liberation is the best choice.
Tani tarwi lamlan rona tani ta ngaso tarwi lam tela tarwi lam nindu tari ngaso kongrapsha tarwi lam yimba ta mayimba ni yore tarwi lam mayimba ti ngaso tanang shapi jitin lami takpa tere tani ta tarwi lam tela yang ni yore tarwi lam tela te kangre zena tani takpa chimbo go tarwi lam tang tani takpa chungo go tarwi lam jine ni yore te nipo gang yinang tani ngimjong te nikala go re ma topa ngimjong te mena tani takpa chimbo go tarwi lam la andro top ko mare takpa chungo go tarwi lam la andro top ko mare gang andro top ko mare.
So this morning we spoke about two paths. One according to the worldly vehicle and its scope of motivation, and then a path of liberation. So we can divide different paths into those that are oriented towards liberation and those that are not. within the path or those paths that are oriented towards liberation, it's possible to divide them up into two further categories. That is the path of liberation according to the basic vehicle or the Hinayana, and the path of liberation according to the teachings of the Mahayana tradition. However, in respect of both paths of liberation, whether it be according to the Hinayana or the Mahayana, renunciation is equally important for both. That is to say, without renunciation, it's not possible to enter into either the Hinayana or the Mahayana path to liberation.
Teni ngimjong te yosona kandiz rezena pena teni mo garton chumba mambo teni sasha chila teni shokchila parndeni ro yona teni tinane mo kashiz ta ngarang parndo mo ngapshir ro yenzeni teni kapshir korjang jangpan ro teni je ngacho teni kamsum simchin kamsum khora na la yo pi simchin hali basam ji me che ba chang me ba mambo yore ticho changmang khora na la par chama ngul la par ro yore ngun shok la par khora na la teni ngimjong 요장나 teni tanga so tanga parromen tanga shirro yenze teni kapshir korjawanda beijana teni zere ngimjong de yosona.
Once we've cultivated the mind of renunciation, it's possible to liken it to a situation where many people are all rushing in one direction, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, and just a few people are electing to turn around and travel in the opposite direction. If we think about it, all the beings in the three realms of samsaric existence are moving towards samsara. They are heading towards samsara. Once we have renunciation, it is the same as us reversing our direction and moving from samsara.
Tani ngacho ngimjong de nam yona pena ngacho terang rapozla ngacho go semgnala ngimjong go samba yakbozo yo sona tani ngacho nyima terang ni tani tharwi lamla tani kangbachchu tani tharwi lamla poz kombachchu posar songre te yendi tani ngimjong soso jella kipa dang tani tharwi lamla tani komba tangbo poaniga tondak chikpares.
So from the very point that we generate renunciation, from the very day that we begin to have renunciation, then this is the same as the first day that the day that we take our first step in the path of liberation. So when we generate renunciation in our mind stream, this is the same as entering or taking our first step on the path of liberation.
Teni ngacho tsendi tola ngimjong teni ngimjong ga samlo dawo teni yapozo yonro thapsona teni ngacho chu tola manje pe yapo teni resong tena teni ngacho pe na kiwa shima dan tetsola yang manje te yapozo yosona teni ngacho kiwa shima ina teni ti manje ti toni yar chevzang la njore
ti chukla yang ja sona chokamo
ngacho pe da teni ngimjong te yapozo yosona teni manje 지추제 망지의 약보주 요소인데 망지의 약보 요소나 되는 아주 기업시마랑 망지 티토네 되니 야르긴로 그래 제브장 로레 백가침보레.
So having renunciation or having the mind of renunciation is a very important foundation for our practice, and it is a foundation upon which we can continue to build in our future existences.
teni tharwi lam thobje tharwa thobje ya te so teni nga cho ji kokjir rang lu sengmi juyi kokjir rang lu ka teni ju samlon da ta chi tindi ze rezina te mareze tharwa thobje ya te mareze tharwa thoba te pe na nga cho nyamlin yak bozu she thamna lo khashi ze teni nyamlin she jana yang pe na lo nga lo chi tindi lo den tindi ze nyamlin she jana tharwa thobni nga cho tharwa ngoma tho ma song na teni nga cho thola ta thara je ya te thobna chokondu samba tindi ge sosorang la ngishi yak bokia da yichi thobya ga tindi ge ngerwa halipa chimbo ro re.
So when we speak of liberation, some people may feel that this is a rather mystical kind of idea, a mystical kind of notion, but in actual fact it isn't at all. By diligently committing ourselves to practice, it is possible within 5 or 6 or 7 years that although we may not have completely achieved liberation, that we will feel ourselves closer to the goal, and on this basis have a heightened belief and confidence in its eventual possibility. So what we actually mean by liberation is something that I would like to speak on briefly.
Teso changma mar mepap shine ngacho simde tini changma changchang chaksona je pejana ngacho gomba je kuzgena tini kuti thola tini jama mangbo tini ngusona tini chinangla zhni tani chinangla zhni te kharang kute ngama soma yimbi kapse kanri yinna tini changma changchang chaksona ta de tini zgla ngacho simde tini resona tini tela tharwa je yore.
So in terms of liberation, it is our afflictions and our negative thoughts. Through achieving liberation, it is possible to make our minds completely clean and pure, and to eliminate these afflictions and negative thoughts completely from it. So we can liken this to clothes that are heavily stained, and through putting them in water and washing them, it's possible to restore the clothes to the state they were in when we originally bought them. And in doing the same thing to our minds, restoring them to their original state of purity, this is what we mean by liberation.
Tani ngacho nangchu nala tini mdo shoyenari nga sanga dorje thaba nala yenari namgin tani ngacho simti namka pe jagne pe ngacho simti namkhan rapo yin zene pe tin jokoyores.
So in Buddhism, whether it be in the sutras or in the tantras, our minds are quite often likened to the sky. This is a very common metaphor that we use.
Teni tsik kang pepsho tanga yore zina nga tso namgin tini nga tso sim te oksar wa yin zi, oksar zi ki tsik te pepsho tanga yore, pe te kang re zina namka ka pen joko yore, teni sim korang ko ngo te kang re zina ngo tini korang ngo te par tini toya ka tsik te oksar zi ki te goni tini tonga yore, tsik te pepsho tanga yore.
So in addition to using this metaphor in terms of language, or the word that we often use to describe the mind or its basic nature, its basic essence, we frequently use the word luminous to describe the basic nature of the mind.
Teni te kandiz shaka ton ngumata kandiz teni ton gogore zena, teni ngat perna namka korangla, teni namka nangni perna chumba, teni namka nangla teni mepali yopa yungore, teni kapse namka changma chumba gangjore, teni yang kapse teni chumba te so par namka nangla mepare ni chijang mepa chakni, teni ngerwa mambo ro yore, riti ina namka korangla ngerwa yo mare, ngamayang teni tatang teni ngerwa mepi goni teni dede yore, namka korang ten namina teni ta chima mepa chunte so mepa teni zires.
So what do these two in fact refer to? Well, we can understand it in terms of clouds that fill the sky. Sometimes there are so many clouds that they cover the sky completely, that they obscure it completely, whereas at other times the sky can be completely free of clouds entirely. And in fact, there are many changes that take place in terms of cloud formations and their relationship to the sky. However, regardless of how the clouds move back and forth, the sky itself doesn't change. The sky always remains as it is, that is, completely pure and free from defilement.
Ata tindi yendi ta nga cho sem go ngoti kanjizre zina teni nangchu go nala te songore nga cho sem go ngoti teni yongs takba tini jima tini nyomong ba tini mambo menken tini yonsa tak ba tini zire yena tini jima tso tamchipo tini jirkin la tini lower to yongo yore ma to ba korang tini namjin yoba tini zi mareze ne tini songo yore.
So in Buddhism, the nature of the mind is described as being completely or perfectly pure and free from defilement. However, from time to time, due to various causes and conditions, it does become obscured. However, the basic nature of the mind itself is one of purity.
Teni osterze ati kandize gorzina ti otte ngachu tartan thongde aga otte tan rewa yo mare rewa chichi yo mareze ngachu tartan ngachu mukum thong thapa ga otta teni ngachu mukum thong mathapa ga ot ndi mambu yore da ti otte da teni ngachu nangchu na la ngachu simte osarwa yinze aga otte ni rewa yo mare.
So when we speak of the luminosity of the mind, what do we mean by this? Well, luminosity in this context actually has no relationship to light that we usually speak of, such as the light in this room. In general, there are different kinds of light, some that we can see with our eyes and other types that we can't. But luminosity, when spoken of in relation to the mind, isn't referring to this ordinary kind of understanding.
Teni te mena te ngachu otam jera mena teni koranga oser ze goya go tondak chiri zena te pez go thoni shak yore ze pena ngachu marme go teni odina nyima tang dawa go odina gangna teni ote yona teni ti kaps teni mamba mannak te yo mare ze audio sala mamba yo mare ze ten ra pozre ngachu sim go ngola teni nyomba yo mare jema yo mare ngachu go sim te ngote hal pena namkhan ra otini yongs takba tindi zire ezegre te osarar ze ati tindi go pezre.
So why do we then describe the mind as being luminous? What is the purpose in so doing? Well, this also is a kind of metaphor, whether that we sometimes use. We talk of the light of a butter lamp or the light of the moon, the light of the sun, etc. And in all of these cases, what this light is referring to is a lack of darkness. And we can understand this in relation to our minds as being a lack of affliction and disturbing thoughts and negative thoughts and so on. So really, light in this situation is again referring to the pure nature of the mind.
Teni ngachu simde ten jawa teni ungo teni osarwa teni yembati teni ngachu susu di tola chin di tola ngachu gum nyamle yakpo shene gum jamna teni ngachu chin di tola susu nyamnyung go toni teni zrend ngune de rend samban rawo hako thap gores.
That our mind is in its basic nature luminous is something that we can directly experience for ourselves in this very lifetime by diligently practicing meditation.
Teni tela te ngachu semgo ngo te tere teni ta ngachu tangbo ngarang cho teni kamsum khorwa ta ngachu yongwi ne kabna ngachu ti ngo te yakbo z mashi pi gemchingi teni ngachu tarta ndowa rigzia ndinga teni nawa mamta mandawa mambo ta dewa ta dungor ta teni jamanda mambo z teni yores.
So that it is on account of not knowing or not understanding this basic essence of the mind that the 3 realms of samsara, that the 6 types of samsaric beings who exist in various states of happiness and suffering come into being.
Teni ta tharwazina teni ngachu simte teni tinala shir teni ta korang ngama teni kangni yongna tinala shir teni songwa ngama teni duma tinala teni shir songne teni korang ngama kangni yongna tinala par songwa tela teni tharwaze ga yores.
So when we speak of liberation, we are talking about leaving this state or moving outside of this original state of being, or this tati julayan jasona chokama.
Ngachu tinani ngama ngachu tini ti osarwa tinani mara yongwares. Teni ta ngachu tini tinala shirndona teni hoigoi tazran zi kitere rangshung go ngobo tinala tini shirlep songna teni tela tharwa jini jega yores.
So originally, in fact, we did emerge from this basic state of purity, and in achieving liberation, this is in fact returning to this original state of purity.
Teni nga cho gom yak po jamne teni nil ke ton te tok sona ya teni nga cho karma ngan po karma chin po karma nishin o teni na la teni nga cho ti tinala shirin ro thup kare teni tharwa thup kare nga cho pe na karma nga tharwa thopa ta karma chit tharwa thopa ta chisu she ka z tharwa thopa ta teni yum gore.
So by realizing the basic state, the basic nature of our mind, it's possible for us to achieve liberation. And this might be a state of achieving liberation that lasts for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 or perhaps 30 minutes. In either case, in recognizing the basic nature of our mind, we can achieve liberation.
Yinayang da nga cho gom yak po jam mathni teni yin rang bola gom jam mathpi jimsen ji teni karma nga karma chichu sheka jini yang nga cho mar yang khora na la lebyong gore nam tok mambo na la lebyong gore.
Even though it's possible for us to experience liberation for 5 or 10 or 20 minutes on account of the fact that we are not sufficiently practiced in meditation over a significantly long period of time, after this short period passes, we ultimately return to the state of cyclic existence.
Teni tharwa dokshokte kangrezina shangfan dokshokte kangrezina Jangwa res, Jangwa, nga chung khora na la par jang jawa teri. O te tharwa ga dokshok te jangba res. Shufu se, jang jate.
So what is the opposite of liberation then? What is the opposite state of liberation? The opposite state is one of being subjugated or bound in samsara.
Teni jangba te nga chung sug janga yorezina Jambaz kupchanga maraj nga so rangal namtok marigpa o tin yomung ba ti tin nga chong khorwa na la par chang ro yore tin khorwa le par thar ma to nami na khorwa na la par chang ro wa te nga so susu namtok da marigpa wa ni chang yore.
So who is it or what is it that keeps us bound in this state of subjugation? Well, in actual fact, it is no one other than ourselves. That is our own conceptual thought and our own ignorance. These are what ultimately keeps us bound in this state of cyclic existence.
Perna nga so ngama tarta yore ya perna z sire wa sitho o te lewi kaps tini Ti tark tini sid tini mbuz ka kanang ni yungu yores. Ti mbuti korang ka kanang ni tini z tini mambo yungu res. Ti yungu tini korang ka kanang ni yungu tini z tini korang dom ni tini korang ka kangwa tang lakba tamchu dom ni tini tama shin ro res. Tini korang la tini dom kin janyo mari changkin janyo mari korang changya ti kang res la korang ka kanang ni shung tini ziti tini korang changare o tinda bore ngacho susu rang nam tok ti tini ngacho susu rang korang na la changayore.
So we can liken our state of binding ourselves up in cyclic existence to that of a silkworm, from whose mouth comes a continuous string of silk from the silkworm's mouth. And as this becomes wound up and increasingly wound up, there is no one else doing this other than the silkworm itself. So we can say that this is also this is similar to the way that we are the ones who keep ourselves bound up in a state of samsara.
Teni nga cho tharwa thobze ati shokchik ko wang china pe le laboz mare halipa kamore ze nga cho khorwa thoma mepa ni tendi yin rang bola tini khorwa na la yong re ta tarong ya tharwa thobya mare shokchik ni chana pe kamore.
So, in terms of gaining liberation from the state of being bound up in cyclic existence, from one point of view, we can say that this is not something that is easy to achieve at all. From the point of view that we have been cycling in samsara for an unbelievably long period of time, up until this present day, to achieve liberation from this state is something that is not easy.
Tani shochignisha na yang pe le labozreze nga sosoranga simte ni toksona simte yapote ni tokson yapo shisona ten lamsang teni ta tarwa topi ngosum gare shochiko andjina yang pe le labozreze.
However, looking at it from another point of view, we can say that in fact it's something that's very easy. From the point that we actually recognize the nature of our minds, then the process of extricating ourselves or liberating ourselves from samsara begins. So it's possible to say that from one point of view, it's also rather easy.
Teni nga tsu sim go tola yo pi jima teni nyomung ba te so tamchi popar mepa che teni nyomung ba tamchi po mepa chak sarwi jini teni nga tsu sim go teni oksar zena teni korang sim go ngo ma te teni te jila lak yore teni nga tsu tin nang la te yak bozi shisona teni te la tarwa zega yore.
So if the stains of our mind and our afflictions, if we are able to eliminate them, then the luminosity of our minds or our mind's basic nature will be enabled, or this will be able to emerge, and in so doing, this is how we achieve liberation.
Teni tarwa thoya tela ngacho Ramba jinda tini rona tela gorum ngapshi tini sim yores ramba sim dus.
And in terms of achieving liberation, there is a graded path that we need to follow, and there are three main stages of this path.
Teni ramba tangbo te pe na ngacho tarta nda porezi tarta yena teni ngacho mi changwala nyomomba mambo yore nyomomba yopa chakamare ngacho nyomomba te cho ngacho sem gna la kiuna pena jirdangda khongchota tini ngargerda dochakta tso nyomomba tso kina tini suso semgana la marke pa yongwa tang tini suso semgana la dungor mambo yongwa tang tini semgana la dungor yongba matsit tini lipo tone pena khongcho kina tini mala gyab kita tini mala tsik tini dugbo tini mala shapan rawda yana mi tini thana chokcho ban raw tini shawa dugbo mambo tini ta yung rezit nyomomba ti kapsang acho semla yopi nyomomba da halepa tindi topdang damba tindi rete ramba tangbo rezit ngacho tati ti kapte rez.
So the first stage is the stage that we are in at this present time, and this is a state where we have a lot of afflictions, a lot of negative thoughts such as hatred, anger, pride and desire, and these negative mental states generate a great deal of unhappiness and suffering, and also physical manifestations as well. As a result of these negative mental states, we might find ourselves assaulting someone or speaking nasty words, or even potentially taking the life of someone. So we can say that this state that we are currently in is one where our negative mental states, our negative mental attitudes, our afflictions are very strong. They possess a great deal of power.
Teni ti kapsa kanti zirina ngacho pena sachan dela yang tini yengire teni sat te zum thombo ti teni changmo sacha changmo te chola gangkha teni khawam ba pikapta namshi changmo im pikapsa teni lung jabna teni lung te halepa teni rakshat sapo teni rakshat changmo chawo zena raksha halepa rakshat zambo raksha tini changmo re ngaran cho pena lagba yena kamba yena khango yena te chola raksha teni lung raksha te thuksona teni halepa teni changmo o teni yore ta nga cho tarta yena nga cho nyomong ba changma tibu tenja ore.
So we can say that the way our disturbing emotions currently are is rather like being in a cold place, maybe like here in winter, a place that has a somewhat high altitude. It's cold, it snows, and when the wind blows, the wind is extremely harsh. When it makes contact with our hands or our face, it really makes us feel extremely cold. And we can say that at the present time, our afflictions are harsh, just like this.
Teni ti kapsa ngarang chogo teni tapada, nyangjeda, sherbda, teni teso gewa ga shoko teni semta so tamche pope nyam chongchong re teni top chongchong re ze. Teni jedang da kongcho da nyomong ba teso sama halai pa top chimbo yimbi nerkap teni zre.
And you could say that the state that we are in presently is one where our virtuous qualities or virtuous attitudes, such as faith, compassion, and wisdom, are in a relatively weak and feeble state, whereas our negative thoughts and emotions, such as anger and hatred, are in a robust and strong state.
Teni ngarang cho serum korwa toma mepa ni tarta parta teni nyomong ba jangyo nuli nyomong ba jangyo shene teni shong ikabre teni tarta yena ngarang cho teni nyomong ba jangyo re teni nyomong ba de ngarang cho jangyo ko dagbore teni zres.
We can say that from the beginningless time, from the beginning of cyclic existence up until the point that we are now, that we have been the slaves of these negative, afflictive emotions, and that they have been like our feudal lord.
Teni nga cho mang chi shuti teni nga cho nyomong ba teni jangyo ko dagboti teni nga cho la teni dungur mambo zo kable mambo tat teni nga rang cho leka mambo le kable mambo jabna teni njewe teso tamche po teni makash pe na nga cho kable jabne gormo mambo sak teni leka mambo lena ta lokashi ge jine nga cho shiwi jine teni tsama igni ro gore jiji thobje thobya yo mare pe na ten ra bo shini kable mambo teni nga cho la nyung kable jab ji teni khorang teni shege yo re je te na nga cho yo zambalang la yong ke mang chi shuti ti go yo mare.
So that we are laboring under a feudal lord who makes us suffer in this way, suffer by undertaking all kinds of action or all kinds of work in order to serve our afflictions. For example, accumulating a lot of money, but then ultimately dying in a few years and not seeing the results of it. The fact that, in fact, we are laboring under a lord who controls us in this way is not something that the majority of people understand.
Tani ta nga cho mnyongshi shi ke tini te ha ko so mare je nga cho la tini nyomong ba ga tini nga cho la dungur mambo tini ta gend nga cho tini dungur tini mambo nyong go ya te zo nyomong ba de ren de nyomong ba de nga cho trang yok tini che gend te yin di tini nge tele ta nge tele trang yok che ge man je ta nga nge yin rang bo tini ze la trang yok she so ta nge trang yok she ge man ta nge nyomong ba lan thap su che ge yin sam bi tini samlo te tini ke di tini tela ngimjong ze yores.
A small minority of people, however, do understand what is happening. They understand that their afflictions are causing a great deal of suffering for them and that they are ultimately a slave to their afflictions. And in essentially resolving that they are not going to, or I am not going to, or one is not going to be a slave to these afflictions anymore, that one is not going to be a slave to this overlord any longer, that one is going to enter into struggle against this overlord. This is the generation of renunciation.
Tini te di kapsata nga cho nyomong balan thapsu che ge yin ze ne tini semtak japare re te yin na ta sar ge nga cho ta nyomong balan thapsu shi ba ngu chik bare ma tok ba tarong leka ka ge le yo mare tini ti kaptila tini ngimjong ko samba ji ge res.
Of course, making the resolve to enter into combat or struggle against this, against our afflictions, is the beginning of the process. From at this point in time, we are just making the resolve. We haven't yet started to undertake concrete action in respect of this goal. However, when we do generate this resolve, when we begin to do so, then this is when we begin to generate the mind of renunciation.
Teni nga tso nyamlim shi ni teni ngondro ta tso rembe nyamlim shi ni nyamlim yakbo shi teni shi na teni nyama chigla nga tso teni te sim go teni ngo nga tso kongla sha pa teni tongjo gore teni te tokso na ta nga tso ndo na la tomba ni ko tokze go yore tomba ni ki tokze na ndgere teni zogba chimbo tokze na ndgere kanze na ndgere teni tongjo gore teni tongjo ni kpte la teni nga tso te korum ramba nipa te rezi nyomomba mar mepa chia ramba nipa te rezi.
So based on this resolve, if we enter into practice and practice according to the proper graded path by completing the preliminary practices, then we will ultimately reach a point where we recognize the basic nature of our mind, whether this is as the sutras render it, as recognizing or realizing emptiness, or whether or not, or regardless of whether we describe the same state of realization according to the language of the Dzogchen teachings or other teachings. In any case, at this point in time, it is possible to realize the nature of our mind, and this is when we enter into stage 2 of the path of liberation.
Teni di kapsa nga tso nyomomba tang tapsupshi ni nga tso nyomomba le teni gyarka gyachab jibchi thambata teni nga tso thobares.
And by the time that we have reached this second stage of the path of liberation, we can say that we have succeeded in our struggle against our afflictions to an extent of approximately 40%.
Yeah, teni di kapsa nga tso gyarka gyachab jibchi thobati nga tso tharwa gyachab jibchi thobarezi. Tharwa gyachab gyayona tarwa nangni teni gyachab jibchit thobarezi gyarkab gyachab jibchit thobzena dongchik barezi
ganji sona chokablanga gomasos
tarwa ga de 40% da teni thobarezi tarwa gyachab jibchit thobze yangna teni ngacho gyarka nyomon batang tabni gyarkab jibchit gyachab jibchit thobzena dongchik barezi
lase. Okay, so this 40% that we just spoke of, we can say it is a 40% victory in our struggle against our afflictive emotions, or we can also say it is a 40% achievement of the goal of liberation. Regardless of how we put it, it means the same thing.
Teni ti kapsa nga so nyamnyungde teni kandizerezena nyomomba kegrewezena taronyo nyomomba kegreze nyomomba jerdang kegre khongcho kegre tin dochakta ngarjerta to sama kegreze kegrete yena teni ta nyomomba tela khorangla teni khorang ko topshikti teni ti kapsa mepa chak sarwares.
So at this point in time, do we still generate thoughts or afflicted thoughts? At this point, we still do. So thoughts of hatred, of anger, of desire, of pride, these will still continue to arise in our mind. However, they will no longer have the same power or strength that they once originally did.
Teni ti kapsa teni kandizerezena pena chamso tongchirka tartaga long tawarezi tarta ngamo gomo long yona teze tangmonda wondua yina teni gangkhanda wo teni kyak bozre mendua long gyangona taron teze tangmonda wo yore pena tenda bores
공단 Khenpo 양자 손에 죽서
참소 종치르나 고고바 사찬도 네 어야 teni 양후 첸라 tarta teni ngamoda gomo teni long gyamna teze tangmo yo nduwazi yina teni te gangkhanda wo teni mendua di kapsa nyomomba te tendizrezi te kwara topshikyo mare nyomombala.
So we can liken the power or the strength of our afflictive thoughts in stage 2 to the morning or evening wind in Salt Lake City at approximately this time of the year. So even though it's a little cool, it feels a little cool, nevertheless it's nowhere near as cold as it presumably is in the middle of winter.
Teni ti kapsa pe na nga chola nyumung ba chi ke una ti nyumung ba khorang ke ni teni paran rore teni korang ma to ko yar ke ni teni paran rore ze paran roya ma to ba ti nga chola nyumung ba ti nga chola sem gna la dengor ma bo zo anda da ti marke ba ma bo zo anda yang na nyumung ba ti top nga cho mela jabri go anda da teni shikin teni cha ni shi thap ga mare khorang yar ke ni teni paran rore.
So at this point in time, disturbing emotions and thoughts will continue to arise, but as they arise, soon they will pass. They will arise and then they will disappear. It will no longer be the situation that disturbing thoughts and emotions arise and then that they cause us a great deal of suffering, and that due to this suffering we then do a lot of negative things. At this point in time, the negative mental states and emotions will arise, but then they will pass easily.
Teni ti kapsa nga cho teni ta nyomo ba ga chang yo re teni nga cho chang yo la teni changjur ya cha jibji ta ba ti kapsa top sar re ti kap ko nyomo ba ti nga cho shikin chembu zo top ko mares.
So at this point in time, we will have achieved approximately a 40% victory in respect of these disturbing emotions and mental states. And at this point in time, the negative thoughts and mental states will no longer have a great deal of power or strength over us.
Teni ti kapsa ta nga cho o ta tharwa ya tin ndi zire samba so so nyamnyung ko ha kon ro re.
And at this point, it will also be possible for us to have a direct experiential understanding of what liberation is like.
Teni nga ma yena ngarang la nyumung ba chi ke una teni nyumung ba ti ngarang changering khorwa ga na la chang khorwa ga na la dum teni ngarang rawa me ba che gare nga ma yena nyumung ba ke una teni tarta nyumung ba ti ri ke una te khorang ga nga la rawa me ba ti ri chi ma tha pa o khorang rang la teni ti topshik me ba teni zi ta chang de o ta ngarang teni nyumung ba nang ni thar kan de samba do teni nga cho nyamnyung ko yong gore.
So to start with, when afflictive thoughts arose in our minds, they caused us a great deal of suffering and made us bound in samsara. They subjugated us. They rendered us in a state of unfreedom. However, by the time we reach this stage 2, when these thoughts arrive, they no longer affect us in this way. And although they may continue to arise, they don't have a great power over us. And as a result of this, it is possible for us to directly experience experience liberation.
Teni ti kapsa nga cho teni ta gum jawya ta teni teso la nga cho labar ta teni ga chu yong gore teni pe na ta tan ra po na nga cho gum jab gona te khabore sam te kamore sam ni teni sam gundwa ti kapse na teni nga cho ta gum jab na nga cho chumri yak po thong gundu nyumung ba me pa shi thap gundu ta nga rang gum jab go sam ni gum yak po jab gore ti kapsa nga cho la kyorang gum ma jib zena teni gum jab gore teni nga cho ti kapse teni nga cho teni gum jabi thola yarji te pe mjokbo yong gore.
And when we reach this stage, we will find ourselves experiencing a sense of enthusiasm for and enjoyment in meditation. Where we are currently, meditation is something that doesn't necessarily come so easily to us. However, once we really start to have direct experience of the results of meditation, our meditation practice, we will generate a sense of joy in meditating, a sense of enthusiasm for meditation, such that even if someone were to say to us, don't meditate, we would still want to do it. So at this point in time, our meditation practice develops very quickly.
Ya deni ti kapsanga so ta nga khamba chimbo yo mayo me ngarang la teni langkhor teni jigbo te so yo mayo me ngarang la tabdi zo nan jikun tu ta nga gum jab ke ngarang la ndili gaz munduk samne teni sam yong gore ti kapsa.
And when we reach this stage, we won't be concerned about whether or not we have a fancy house or not, or a fancy car or not. Just having something simple and convenient will be enough for us. We will be concerned to spend most of our time in meditation practice. And so this is the second stage on the path of liberation.
Tani gomjabna mantani gomjabna tani nyomba teza lama yoba tezo yang meba changjo re tani pena zogba chimbo ra tani gomthamna na lama yakbo tam chat tani zogba chimbo suso ranga yang nyamli yakbo shithamna na pena nga cho mashi sanchola tani te nyomba chama chawa ni meba re ro ti kapsa nga cho nyomba jini chawa ni meba tinji re ro re semga na la nyomba kia meba tinji changjo re.
Proceeding from here, we need to continue in our meditation practice, and potentially at this point, if we can find a qualified teacher, practice the Dzogchen teachings or other teachings, and in practicing them well, it is possible that we can achieve a state where our afflictions and disturbing mental states are completely eliminated.
Teni ti kapsa nyomba kina karte tezi kina perna karnda tawa liuxin zena ko karnda oya tinjin rao tong ma tok ba teni yo mare si teni te ma to yo mare teni kali teni te yang me ba chakare teni thara ngoma te to sore te ramba samba deres.
So by this stage, if we do experience from time to time some disturbing thoughts or emotions, if we do from time to time experience their arising, they will just be like a shooting star shooting past us. They won't last for a very long time. In fact, they will only arise for a very, very short time. And at this stage, it is possible that we achieve complete liberation, and this is the third stage of the path to liberation.
Teni nga cho sim tela nguni changni nyam de jongder nguni changni sheji yore zite nga cho jongder chena nga cho nyamnyung ko soso hago yongore thana dawa khashile nyam ti jongder machina dawa khashi na la tez yarjin ro re nga cho jongder chawane machina lo mambo lo jachang mambo na jiwi chirdik ma to yo mareze teni jongder te chana teni nga cho sim tela pe yarji chimbo ro yore.
By actually engaging in training our minds through different meditation practices, it is possible for us to see great development. Even a series of several months of diligent practice will enable us to see significant development in our Dharma practice. If we don't engage in the concrete task of training ourselves, however, then even hundreds of years will not see us become any better. In fact, our state will only become increasingly worse.
Bog teni sang nyam selengkeng teni lama nyamling yapo yongken so karizegrezena teni gum ge yarjin roluk tela teni rembasem yore teni ta remba tambo pe na gum nyamling yapo shinken teni harchun shinken o chundi yapo shinken teni zigena na nyama re khand teni yarji yongore pe na khasang re terang gagare terang le sanyin gagare nyama re la yarji yo teni songore ze an tambo inna.
So in the Vajrayana tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, advanced practitioners describe meditative practice as potentially happening in 3 stages, or in 3 ways. That is, the first, where, and this relates to practitioners who are quite diligent and industrious in their practice. It's possible for them to see every single day results in their practice, changes, development in their practice. That is, today, tomorrow, and the next day all manifest signs of development.
Tani nyamlim shinken ang nipa zina tani nyama re yarji yung ha ko mari nyama re shin de yarji yo mari da yana dawa re yarji yo re dawa ngamali tarik dawan deli dawan jingma ga ndu samban ro dawa re shin de tani yarji yung gres.
So this first group of diligent practitioners are the best kind of group or the best caliber of practitioner. The second rank of practitioner might not see signs of advancement in their practice every single day, but they will be able to every month or so. So that is, their practice this month will be different and will show signs of development compared to where they were last month and then the month before that and so on.
Tani nyamlim shinke ang sambazigina temi tama dikshuzigina tani nyamari yadjin roya tani yomare dawa chire yadjin dindizin ro du sambatindi koji yomare yina lori yadjin ro o nanangli nga talu gaundusa taluli yang tini sampo nga tini ota lo ngamali nga talu gar taluli yang jimaga tindi lori korang nyamnyung ko tone tani yarji ngarang yarjin rondu sambate go yore te gum jab nyamlim shinken kanti dukbozigin na lori yarjin roji to korang nyamnyung ko re.
And the third caliber of meditative practitioner, that is, generally speaking, the worst caliber, nevertheless, might not see signs every day and might not see signs of progress every month, but certainly every year they will see signs of progress. So based on their experience, they will be able to see that their practice this year is stronger than it was last year, and their practice last year is stronger than the year before that. So this is something that even the worst kind of meditation practitioner can perceive in their practice, that is, signs of advancement from year to year.
Tani nga tso zikpo la zhongdar shinkan mambo yore zi, lamka la mambo jinkan rata, tani lisar zhangkan da, tani kasakawa la tani thongjin do wa zi, mambo ndo zi. Yena nga tso sim ka tola tani zhongdar shinkan da tezi nyung re.
So in terms of physical training of our bodies or the physical exercising of our bodies, there are many different ways that we can do this. We can run or we can work out in a gym. Everywhere we look, we see people engaging in physical exercise. However, the number of people who engage in training or exercising their minds is relatively small.
Te rinpa samba tere ze nga so tini gum nyamlin jabni nyumong pa mepa shibi rinpa samba tere ti kapsa tini nga so ngune tani ga jarka tini gacha jabu to tini ti kapsa thobares.
So this stage 3, when we completely eliminate all afflictions, then this is a state of 100% victory.
Tini ti kapsa tini ta nga so kanti rindo re nga so kanglan ro ni de go re zena. Yang so share di mi yer nanda tini haga yer nanda tendro nala nanda yang so yang kir shir yong go re sachan di tola.
And where do we go from here? Do we go back to the human realm? Do we go to the realm of the demigods? Do we go to the animal realm? Where do we proceed from here?
Yena tini nga so ti kapsa nga so yong wi tini muir khakares tini thoptang zena shenfen Toptang kakarez sachanti tola tata yongwa tang jini yongwani kakarez.
So even though it is necessary for us still to take on a form in one of these states, our identity or the way that we do so will be different from the way that we originally did while still bound in cyclic existence.
Tani ti kapsa tondak muir ka kang tola yongwa rezena tani semjin namla tani yang tharwa ga lam to ngarang susu tharwi lam yakbo top tharwi jini tani mi mambo la tharwa ga lam yakbo tom bi sherde tani yong bare ti kapsa.
The primary difference will be the purpose with which we return to one of these states. And after having achieved liberation for ourselves, our primary purpose will be guiding and showing others the path towards liberation.
Tini ti kapsati mute sola tini partana ti mute so tini shertang gamon rapo tini rapo yinken tini yang yorese. Kaji na shertang gamale kyang digbun rapo tini yang yorese. Kaji na haliba yakbo pe na sanji shakja taban rapo tini yang yore tini ramanda mambo goni yongre. Yena koso muir chikpare chama tini ngaso la tharwi lam tum bishir to yongbat shatak rez.
And those who, having achieved liberation, return to cyclic existence to help others take on a variety of appearances. Many appear as just normal people, others appear as even worse off than normal people, while others have extremely fine appearances, such as that of the Shakyamuni Buddha. In any case, the purpose or the objective of all of these beings will be the same, and that is to guide others out of the sufferings of cyclic existence.
Teni ti kapsa teni khorang chogo te sem ko nang la teni nyumung ba chigyang yo mare chama tsawa ni mepa shi tsara re yina teni ti kapsa ni la yo re chiri na ni te ni bo de nyumung ba de mare chiti nyar ji re nyar ji chembo to yo re ni te sherab re teni sherab ta nyar ji ni bo de yo re te ma to ba nyumung ba chama teni mepa shi tsara te jini maung ba la teni nyumung ba te so khorang ga saun tsawane mepa shi japi gimtsin ki ta maumba la nyumumba name ke mare.
And beings in this state will have completely eliminated all afflictions from their mind stream. The only two qualities that remain are or will be compassion, great compassion, and wisdom. In addition to these, there are no afflictive emotions or mental states whatsoever. In having achieved liberation, the very seeds for these afflictions will have been completely eliminated.
Teni ti kap ka teni nga chogo namba de kandi zrezi na nga chogo nawa chorwa de kandi zrezi na teni thakba chimbum dor de gyan jin zhuang yan lun zhe ge dor de thakba chimbum dor de gyan kana la ta jarsab shambang gombo go teni songre teni ti nang la chaka chi song yo re
Yang je sonne choke blang ya bu go ma song.
ti kap de nga chogo kandi zge yo nga chogo nature de kanda zrezi na dor de gyan thakba chimbum dor de gyan
Di jazna?
jin zhuang yan lun zhe ge jin zhuang yan lun thakba chimbum dor de gyan zge de jarsab shambang gombo go songre yo ta 양나 도디자 마지나 쪽 자습 샴방 공부고 되니 tsakashi song 요레지 디코르데 간디지겐 되닝네 티샤요.
Okay, and the state of mind that we experience in this state has been referred to in a specific scripture, and Khenpo would like to quote from this or describe this state of mind as it is described here.
되니 티 돈다 담보도 간레지나 कंग छुकन गेमा तार तोक संगे ते पेना मति छु थामछु पोतिनी गेमा ता मलम ताव तोक छर रे खरंग तोक सो तोक छरबी जिनी तेनी खरंग ला तेनी छुन दसो थामछु nga cho जितिंग ना वांदा सो थामछु बो खरंग ला दुंगर मंडा मंडा मंबो युवा ता खरंग ला माची पा युवा ता तसो चावानी शे थप को मारे खरंग तेनी ना वांदा सो छमा तेनी पेलम छमो मलम ताव यम्बा तेनी शी छरवा रेस.
So the first line is, upon reaching this state, all phenomena will have been recognized as illusory and dreamlike in nature. And as a result of this, no phenomena will be able to produce experiences or feelings of unhappiness and suffering. Everything will just be like dream experiences that we have in the nighttime.
Teni tsikang nipat kiwa ki mutsar jo tartong ne sone korang ke kiwa lembati pena nga cho teni ndeni ki mutsar zena shirlang kongyuan teni shirlang chigana ni tamota ni yang shirlang chigana la tamota yang teni langka chigana la tamota chati yang langka chigana la tamota yang dawo tenjin dawo zama to ba korang la teni dumur chawane yo mare ta korang ndeni semjing ga ton jib chati yang jamba zalan do ni semjing ga ton jib teni jib chati yang teni jamba zalan do ni semjing ga ton jib teni je korang me to ko langka chiglan do anda u nawa ma to chora teni ma to ba chora dungmir korang chawane yo mare.
And from this point, working for the benefit of others will be like moving between one beautiful garden looking at the flowers to another beautiful garden looking at the flowers, or moving from one part of the road to enjoy the sights to another part. That is to say that a liberated being will be able to move from benefiting one or benefiting one type of person or one group of persons to another, and these experiences will only produce a sense of happiness. They will not engender any sense of suffering.
Tenim juru ti tang gpetina the nyomu dungwar tak jikpa meze teni korang simjeng ke ton jipi ner kamna korang kangar mambon chat tendi yena yang teni tendi yempi kap tang teni yang kangar tang mamchap pa teni yang chi chakin yakbo yongwa teni ton yakbo yongwa tsu kap gang yena yang shlogo korang la chakin zomba tang man zomba kangar yo ba ta kangar me ba tendi kanris yona te korang ke sem ke nala teni nyomu ba ga teni jikpa chawane yo mari nyomu ba chawane yo mari te korang simjeng ke ton jabala teni ki mutsalan roanda o tendi nawa o deja kepa tendi teni yengare soni sonyores.
And at this point, regardless of whether one encounters great difficulties great difficulties and challenges in working for the benefit of others, or whether one has a very smooth time and good conditions that support working for the benefit of others, regardless of whatever the case in question is, there will be no fear towards one's situation, and no afflictive thoughts or emotions will arise in the process of working for others. So this is liberation. This is what we mean when we talk of liberation. So what does everyone think about this state of liberation? Does it sound like a pretty nice state?
Yeah, teni ngacho khangba zigbo na la de teni langkor zigbo tang zambalang la teni yerko chonchim ro teni chena gasareta teni ke tharwa to sona gasares.
So would you prefer to live in a splendid house or drive a really nice car and travel the whole world, or to exist in a state of liberation?
Yeah, teni ke tharwa thomna ga samna teni ngacho ta leka lego res.
So if we would prefer to achieve this kind of liberation, then from this point on, we need to start to do some real work.
Teni tharwa thomna teni ga samna o ta ga samna ngacho sem ke nala ga samna samni dena phanto yo mare teni ta ngacho ngosum gore leka din ngosum gore.
Just thinking that achieving this state of liberation would be nice doesn't really achieve anything in itself. It's important that we actually begin in concrete action to work towards this goal.
That teni tharatoya ti nguni changni yorezi te ngacho murang ni pala teni ngacho susu rang jongdur chini teni tendireze pe jana ngacho lipo jongdur china pena karncham kan rapota teni nyentsar zina kare teni tela pena janakta sola teni nyentsal teni zene teni ti labata kama tam chipo nyimu teni doa tela chuse rezena ti tronchapna teni korang karcham kan soda te so teni lipo pe nyimbo reni oh ya tendra bota te so te yang te korang so jongdur china nga so lipo teni jendo topkun doaze ngacho jongdurshi matam kanzu jongdurshi menkanzu gutindi chicham shitab kumando waze lipo gotoni.
This state of liberation is one that really and truly exists, and it's one that we really and truly can achieve through our own efforts and through engaging in the proper process of training. So just as through physical training it's possible for gymnasts to train themselves into an extremely supple and flexible state where they're able to perform all kinds of physical feats, a person who doesn't train themselves physically in this way is simply not able to do these things.
Teni lister katholi yang tendi ga jishan yundong zawa o tendi lister ka haliba nga so me shirtang ba mo so teni lister tendi shi matha ba tendi ga teni lister te so yang teni ko so lipo jongder shi na teni tab gu duaze nga so lipo jongder ma shin kan ga tendi tawani phok mdua similar samyang phok mare nga so o tenda bore teni lipo la tendi jongder shi ji yore dedang rabo nga so simla yang dedang chipa jongder chi jin duze.
And there are other examples of extreme sports where through engaging in process or a course of training that people are able to undertake all kinds of unimaginable physical feats, kinds of physical feats that we, without engaging in this training, are really not even able to dream of being able to do. And the same goes for our minds. It's necessary that we train them, that we engage in a process, a path of training them.
tenita ngaso damka shi go reze ngaso damka karip shi kyorzina teni pena ngaso gum gyapi tharwa thopa te tang teni jikting ganang la ngaso teni ju jeta longshun do so la teni longshun den chowa kepo shi ya tinti ni do wa yana ti nani ngaso teni te pena ngarang la tharwa go ngarang la teni chowa kepo to morgo mena ndukre ngarang tharwa chi bo te yona te nge choko yenge ti to la batsun shege yang zeranda o tenga cho damka chigres teni yang khashis gno o tanga tharwati tomato me nga thara yona chok mena chonga thara tomato ngarang lan chuwa ke pode go ngarang chuwa ke boyona te gang dik samba teni te damka chigres teni min dopa chimbo te so ngarang la nika de go ngarang la tharwa yang top go teni ten chuwa ke pode go nika go zin teni zenken korchi goreze teni kyaran cho samlo tana gang dam gyenje.
So we are presented with two choices. The first choice is one whereby we make a choice to engage in practice in order to achieve liberation, and the second choice is one where we make a choice for worldly existence with the goal of achieving a very comfortable and pleasurable state of material existence. So these are essentially the two choices that we are faced with. One whereby we essentially forsake striving for a really high level of worldly existence and rather put our energies into achieving liberation, and the second where we don't make liberation our goal but rather decide that what we want to do is focus on achieving a pleasant life in this life. Of course, there are some people with very great desire who want both of these things. They want liberation and they want a very nice worldly existence. What does everybody think out of these choices that we're presented with? Which is the best choice?
Ngaso sig dam go greze yana ngaso teni ta tharwa ngaso yoma ome ngarang teni te chowa ke boyonan jgreze gre te yana ngaso jiktin lami thakba nyamlim che go greze yana ngarang teni ta jiktin kon chowa te ngarang la mambo yoma ome ngarang tharasi bo dub goze te yana jipsim malari panda o she go greze teni te mayin te ngarang la teni tharwa yang ngarang la thop go yo te anga go ndu teni chowa yang ala go ndu ta niti ngala go zina na yang aso dam ka chi gore teni kanong zu dam go gores.
So we need to make a choice of one choice out of these various choices. So the first one, whereby we decide not to aim for liberation, but rather for a enjoyable and pleasurable existence in this life. And if we do this, then if we make this choice, then this is a choice that corresponds to the level of the worldly vehicle of motivation. If, on the other hand, we decide not to focus so much on worldly and material goals and instead direct ourselves to the goal of liberation, then this is a choice corresponding to that of the kind that Milarepa made. And then there is the third choice, as we just said, that is one where an individual wants both of these things. So presented with these different choices, which should we make?
I
think that to make a choice or make the same choice that Milarepa did is in fact very difficult. And probably none of you would say that we completely don't want to pursue liberation. I think that probably the majority of us would say that we want both.
Yeah. Ta yinna teni ngama sarji shakja tapa korang jigyo bi kapsi teni sarji ge teni chusong bi kapsi teni jagarla teni sechi tong zatela teni jarbuz yores ti teni sarji chomden de la teni korang ga rewaz ton yore ta rewaz ton yores.
During the time of the Shakyamuni Buddha, there was a king and he made a request of the Buddha.
De korang ga gareze gareze na de korang jarbure korang chowa halipa kipo yoreze. De indi korang ga sarji la zene de korang ga ngin chowa tini ngarang ga longshut teni chowa kipo teni longshut to sama mar kirni teni tharwa teni lamla teni chondro gore teni zenana ngandro mense. Ngan mense pena ngarang deni ngarang ke jarsan di tokne deni ngarang waz ke kiwalen sona le malin chume ngarang ke tini ngarang doyun tamjepo longshu tamjepo parpang ni nga tharwa drabzena nge drab mense tini shayores.
And what the king said to the Shakyamuni Buddha was, of course, the king, being a king, had a very opulent standard of living. He had a very luxurious standard of living. And what he said to the Buddha was, if you lay out the path to liberation as being one where I have to give up all of my worldly existence, then I'm not going to enter into the path.
Teni tenji ge tharwa teni tabshis oyozeni sangjela teni korang ge shayore te sangji ge yore ta kyo tenji ge na teni kyorang sang dorji thaba lobsone den song yores.
And he said to the Buddha, is there a path or a practice that I can follow where I can achieve liberation but at the same time not have to give up my opulent worldly existence? And the Buddha replied to him that yes, there is. You can practice the Vajrayana. So all of us, therefore, need to study and practice the teachings of the Vajrayana.
Teni sanga dorje thaba tharwa tingi thop kyen ngi lamsang tarta ngi ngonz kyen sambitini samlo tendiz ke sona samlo tambo tendiz ke sona telang nimjong zegres.
So today in making a resolve of renunciation, or today in generating renunciation, we need to do this by making a very strong determination, a very strong resolve that from today onwards we are going to work towards liberation through the Vajrayana teachings, and that we are going to begin right now.
Teni yang ngaco yang goa lenyi shi sonan juk mari zenga zo dorji takbal ten yamlin shi na ta ngaco jiji go samari nyomong bando chagyo na jerdang ona gari yo na choksare te kyo yo samare samna te mari zit.
Te yangja sona chokna ya.
Ngaco sanga dorji takbal zi ten yamlin shi na tobat te la yang goa lenyi shi na goni shi na yak nyang mari zi. Pela ngaco sanga dorji takbal nyamlin shi na ta ngaco do chagyo na kyo samari jerdang yo na kyo samari
Of course, in being practitioners of the Vajrayana, this doesn't mean that there's no problem with generating desire or having hatred, or that it doesn't matter the extent of our afflictions. This is not what we're saying at all.
Teni ngarang tsogo nyomungba teni ndochakda, nyomungba jerdangda, nyomungba ngargerda chakdo tetsu ngazo sangak dorje takba teni mar mepapshi gozega yore ngazo ndoga yang bot parshin takba ndoga yang mepapshi gozega re nyantuga yang teni mepapshi gozega re te njabore kyapari yaw mares.
That in fact we need to eliminate our afflictions, eliminate our desire, our hatred, our pride, our jealousy, etc. This is something that the Vajrayana teachings emphasize, as do the Sutric teachings, as do the teachings of the basic vehicle. There is no difference between the different traditions in this respect whatsoever.
Shertang nga tsu tanang nga tsu yang shepa yang pena nga tsu soso rang la tini chakin yo na 아좀 초와 약보즈 그 통네 되니 냠림시나 되니 르그레 땡가로요 말에제 아좀도 파르친 탁바가 데제그레 마토반도 파르친 탁바가 되니 자바니 마제와 되니 말에 옛나 상글라 다론 티토라양 탑시 잡으라 요레.
So, as we said this morning, even in the sutras, it is said that one is still able to engage in spiritual practice even if one has a high standard of material conditions in which one lives. So this is something that is said in the sutric teachings, and in the Vajrayana teachings, in addition to this, there are extra or more extraordinary methods that are provided in addition to this.
Tani tendi tani samlo de ngaso jella ti tamja de yakbozo oyong moyong tar gogore o tani nge tendi ga tharwa ngaso kongla shapi tharwa ti ta ngarang ga chindi tholange yindam banda ngarang ga tani thopgo ngarang ga tartani ngarang ga ngonjigni tani shawat dribge ngarang ga lojong shegeyen ngarang nyamlin chegeyen samne tani tamja yakbozo tani yosona tani ngaso ngoni tane ngimjong ko samba yakbo jella kiware teni nyema tini zongti ngaso tharwa ga lamla komba chik teni po charsong teni ngaso tharbi lamla yaran ro charwa res.
So whether or not we have made this vow, we have made this resolve in our own minds is something that we need to inspect for ourselves. That is, whether or not we have made the vow to achieve liberation in this lifetime, starting now at this very moment by learning the Buddhist teachings and putting them in this practice to achieve liberation. And if we truly have made this promise, if we truly have made this vow in our minds, then we will have genuinely aroused renunciation or generated renunciation, and in so doing we will have made our first step in the path of liberation.
Teni tari kongda nga tsung nimjong ko samba zikite shabare te na teni nimjong ko samba te la ta kandi zigla zegore nimjong ko samba te chindi zigla nimjong ko samba zegore ze te ndordi zngortu shekayin.
So I'd like now to give a brief explanation of renunciation. What is it that we mean when we refer to this mind of renunciation?
Teni nga tso nimjong zena teni nga tso porka kanala nimjong zeya te chisak tondagre zena ni zena ngepertaze ta nga ngepertaze njong zena ndrowaze o te ndita nga ngepertan ndrowe zejitere o nga ta enjo menjo tendi mayimba nga ngipertan royin zeje tendi zela nimjong zegre nimjong zena ngipertam jongwa zena ngipertan rowa o tendi zela zegre.
So the word for renunciation in Tibetan is made up of two components. The first component, or the first syllable, nge, refers to needing to do something of necessity. That is something that we must do or essentially must engage in. The second part of the compound word that represents renunciation in Tibetan is jungwa, which means to go. And so when we combine these two, to resolve to go or to necessarily go, then we convey the meaning of renunciation. That is to say, there is no wavering or hesitation about whether we should go. It is a firm resolution, a firmly resolved determination that we will and must go or proceed.
Teni ngipertan rowa ganglan rowa zena gangnin rowa ze ganglan rowa zena teni ganglan rowa zena teni ngarang tharbi lamla ngan rowa ze teni gangnin rowa zena teni kamsum korwa ga nang ngacho tarta ngacho kamsum korwa ga nala yore teni nga ta kamsum korwa ga nala teli degmen tanga yin rambu ndi kamsum korwa ga nala tarnga yanchut teni te yin rambu desong ta teli nga kamsum korwa nala degmen tanga tharbi lamla ngan roin sambi sambatela teni nimjong zegre.
So, where is it that we vow or resolve we must go to or proceed towards? Well, it is the path of liberation that we resolve to enter into. And this involves us generating the thought that for an impossibly long period of time that we have dwelt in the three realms of cyclic existence, and that from this point onwards we no longer wish to remain in this state, and that from this point onward we are moving towards or entering into the path of liberation. So this is what we mean when we say renunciation.
Teringa tarwi lamlan ro gobi gimsan ti kang rezena teni gimsan ni reze chikte nga so tari kona tarti nga so kona psha patere tarwa lamla nga so sona teni nga so nyomong bata dungmer ta chama meba shitab gore teni nga ro yenzi te gimsan chigrez.
So, in terms of the reasons for why we should enter into the path of liberation, there are primarily two. The first one that we spoke about before is that by entering into the path of liberation, it is possible for us to completely eliminate all of our afflictions and all of our suffering. So, this is the first reason why we should enter into the path of liberation.
Teni nipa te kang rezena ta nga tarwi lamlan ro gobi gimsan da nga kamsam khorang na lan duk men ze mendik pi gimsan te kang rezena teni khorwan di na la teni dungmer pe mambore ze khorwan di na la dungmer mambore ta pe na kamsam khorwan ro wa rik trik zine nga chu nang ba na la teni songore di na la ji pe ji shu ngoma den chowa ji shu ngoma te kang rezena mo dang teni la do teni chowa ji shu yen ze ne teni ze yore. Tenti yendi tam tele kyang teni nga so mun rawo yena teni korkab mangbo yore damkha mangbo yore te yena nga so muti hal leba teni kishu de re te yena yang teni mala te kewa yore gewa yore nawa yore chiwa yore teni dungmer mangbo re dewa yang yore te yena dewa nyong ma to mandu dungmer mangbo re tenti yendi ta nga tharwa chomna ga samne teni nan robi gimson nipati te re rogobi gimson.
And the second reason for why we should enter into the path of liberation is that the three realms of cyclic existence are plagued with suffering, all kinds of suffering. That is, there are all kinds of afflictions, suffering of different kinds. Within samsara, there are 6 realms of beings, and among these realms, the human realm and the realm of the demigods are considered the most pleasant and the most enjoyable. That is to say, at least within the human realm, there are many opportunities that we have, and there are many choices. Yet at the same time, there is also a great amount of suffering. There's the suffering of birth, of death, of illness, of aging. And so whilst there are some pleasures and happinesses within this realm, there is also a great deal of suffering, and in fact much more suffering than there is happiness. So it's for this reason, or this is the second reason, that we should resolve to enter into the path of liberation.
Teni nga cho tarwi lamlan ro yen ze ngarang semtak cherni ta nga tarwi lamlan ro yen ze na teni chuzn ro go ze na nga cho lipotin ro ze mare ji lipotin nga cho tarong din la de na chokore suso kawa ngama kawa yona tela de na chokore nga cho ngama leka kari le yona tele na chokore zo de nga cho sem tin ro go re.
So when we make a firm resolve to enter into the path of liberation, what is it or who is it that enters into this path? Well, we're primarily not talking about our physical bodies. Our physical bodies can remain where they are, doing the work that they're currently doing. What we're primarily talking is our minds entering into this path. Nga
cho nimjong ko samlo te te ta kap se yore pe na nga cho so leka lamdro shawa lamdro yakbo mayong wan rawo ta teni so sem ko tola dungmur yong wan ra ta teni chowa ko tola chi kangar ramda yong wan rawo ra tesu kabla teni yang nga cho ta khorwan tin la dungmur re nyang bu chi mandu ngarang tharwa thobna gasare ngarang tharwa thob go samni teni sam greze Jeti na teni te samba tambu mare te nga cho yang shawa lamro yak po yong teni lipo de thang yong teni yimbi kap sin teni yang nga so jin do res teni tela yang phantok chembo ya mare.
From time to time, we might find ourselves generating a mind of renunciation. That is, when our luck doesn't go very well, when we come across misfortune or suffering, when we encounter different setbacks in life. At these moments, we may feel that, oh, this cyclic existence really is suffering. There's no meaning in it whatsoever, and I would like to orient myself towards liberation. However, this kind of attitude or this kind of resolve is not a stable one. When our luck turns for the better or when we recover our good health, then we forget this resolve entirely. So it's not much use to us.
Teni tendi ending achuta nimjong ko samlo te teni tambu teni yakpo teni ziyong gona penanga cho teni shawa lamro yakpo yung wata teni demo chupo yung winir kabla yang nimjong yo teni shawa lamro mayong wata demo chupo maimpi nir kabla yang nimjong ko sambat yo namjin teni sambat tambu teni ziyong gore te yung gona kandi she gore zena teni ngacho jungdar te she gore.
So if we are going to cultivate a stable mind of renunciation, that is one that we can maintain in circumstances of both luck and happiness, as well as circumstances of bad luck and unhappiness, it's necessary that we train ourselves or train our minds.
Teni jongder japkite nga so ngonjo gom jene ta nga so teni pojik namtan la teni lojong shina teni nga so ngonjo namba jeje ngonjo lordok jeje ne teni nga so boke na teni sakya ina nyangma ina gelge na ta pok chu changma chum ta changma ti khabar chikji yo mare changma teni gom thap ta te so teni chikbare teni te so chiri chini teni gom gore.
And in training ourselves, it is important that we practice or complete the preliminary practices, and specifically the 4 outer preliminary practices. These are a set of practices that all traditions and sects of Tibetan Buddhism value equally, whether it be the Sakya or the Nyingma or the Gelug. There is no difference whatsoever. The 4 outer preliminaries, or the 4 thoughts that turn the mind from samsara, need to be meditated on, contemplated, each one at a time until we have completed them all.
Teni gom kuna kandi gom gogore yang ming mambo zu teni chagore nga so gom bi ne kamna nga so chu sam gogore ta yang na sam nyang ka mare chi chi mapsam baz gogore ta kari gogore zene te ming mambo chaganduz.
Of course, what do we mean here by meditation, or to meditate on the preliminaries? Many people ask this in doing this kind of meditation. Are we allowed to think? Are we meant to be not thinking? What does this kind of meditation entail?
Teni gom tila nga so sum yo pa ha ko gore je te chikti nga so samlo tangare samlo mambo tani gom jamne samlo mambo tanje tendi chigres.
So there are essentially 3 different kinds of meditation, and the first kind is one where we do think, and in fact we do a lot of contemplation. This is the first kind of meditation.
Tani ni pati tini ta gom jamne sem ka dala tini nam tok kang me pa shini tini chik masam ne tini jambu gonin dea tendi rete gom ni pati res.
And the second type of meditation is one where we bring our minds into a very calm state without any thoughts whatsoever and abide in this state. This is the second kind of meditation.
Tani gom sambati kang rezena tani sambata masamba nika maimba tani sambata masamba nika lindeba o tendi tere tene te nga chu tomba nye gom zeanda ta zogba chimbo gom zeanda tela zegere tendi indi shertang teni gom tela tendi rsum yore ze rumunda wasam.
And the third kind of meditation is not one that involves thinking or not thinking. It is a state of abiding, whether it be in a state of giving rise to thoughts or no thoughts. This is emptiness meditation or meditation according to the Dzogchen teaching. So effectively we can understand meditation methods to belong to one of these three different kinds.
Tini tisam ganani nga chu mundu kapsa tini gom javyati karezina te samlo mambo tang go rezi te samlo tang chit tini nga chu ndang mambo jav samlo mambo tang tini go re yena ti samlo tang ate nga chu soso rang kang dondut tini mare nga chu tini gom ganala nga chu samlo ndindi tang go zi ti samlo tang sarti tini nga chu yigi ganala saru mundu ganala saru yore ti mundu ganala somba ndabu shini tini nga chu samlo mambo tang ne.
So the kind of meditation that we practice in the preliminaries is one where we have to do a lot of thinking. This kind of meditation practice involves a lot of reflection and a lot of contemplation. However, this isn't a kind of thinking or contemplation where we simply think about anything that we want to. In the teachings, there are clear instructions about the particular way that we should go about thinking and contemplating.
Tini ti samlo tangsar ti nangla tini nga zo ndi ngonjo nangla ti samlo tangsar jiyo mandrawa jiyo re ti jetela nga zo tini thumungo ngonjo jiyo zegre.
So the four specific contemplative exercises that we practice during the preliminaries, there are four of them, and these comprise the four outer preliminaries.
Tini tangbo to kangrezina nga zo tari mutse tarti nga chu mutsende tani pe rentang dang dang ba yamba dang tani halipa ga tani ni kawa yamba tari nga chu ndinji ga mli ya bo zu thopa te pe le la bo tsawa ne mare tani nga chu namjin ha ko yo mare nga chu le la bo tin ji yin sam go re te yin le la bo zu mare te nga rang chu kewa nga mala tani chok mombo sa gewa mambo jimni tani go ni tani te thopa zre ze te nga chu tari mlind halipa rentang jan te yimbi gimchente nga chola damga mambo yore te nga ro kandi shina tharwa sangji go kompang thopgona tharwa thopgona kandi yinna te jumna dubchokore damga tendi mambo yobi korkup tendi mambo yobi gimchenji pe rentang jayin ba shigore.
So the first contemplative exercise involves us reflecting on the extremely precious nature of our human existences, our human forms. That is, that it's extremely rare to have this kind of human form, this human rebirth. It's not something that's easily come by at all. Normally, however, we don't regard things in this way. We think it's a relatively normal and easy thing to be a human. However, this is not the case. The fact that we have taken this human form is a direct result of a great deal of positive karma, a great deal of merit accumulated in past existences. And it's on account of the fact that in this human form we have so many choices available to us that we regard it as so precious. We have, for example, the choice of aiming for Buddhahood, for liberation. On account of these opportunities, these choices that we have in our human form, we therefore regard it as extremely precious.
Tene ni pata nga zo muli te pendendi ga hale pa ni ka tindi je yina tene te martak bare ze tene nga zo nyamlim she anda ta lojong she anda ta tene nga zo leka karchim bond so nyir te le gore ma tok ba nga zo me jima le yin zankor jima ga na la yin dawa jima ga na la yin tene nga ran lo jima ga na la yin tindi zene par tindi shinjang she na tene korkup te shondro re tendi njongbo tene nyamlim she go samne tene sam go re the
second contemplative meditative exercise that we practice is reflecting on the impermanence of our human lives, and that is to say that although this human life rebirth that we have is extremely precious, it is also very fragile and fleeting. For this reason, it is necessary that we immediately engage in Dharma practice, that we immediately engage in the important work that we need to do. If we continually postpone beginning in our practice till next month or next year or into the future, then it is highly likely that we will miss the chance altogether. So in practicing this contemplative exercise, we appreciate the need to begin engaging in our practice as soon as possible.
Teni sambati ta karti tari nga so teni nyamling yapo she matamne teni shisona teni jima teni kork te yo halipat kaborez teni karti nga so jima teni kork me sona teni tang khorwa ga na lola teni pena nga so mog chewa le nanda yana teni tondro chewa le nanda kantar shitsari jis chewa lingo re teni chewa limbi ne kamna teni chewa dugbu teni len jana teni dungri yang mambo teni myongre teni yendi karti mog chewa le na yang teni nga so ju mog loji tola teni dungri kyong kheng teni loji mambo re teni rawaz ka maung bala yang teni yang nga so la yang loji ngama loji ndaw teni dungur mambo mala yo kare chit mo yopa te chit teni mala dungur damanda mambo yongre teni yendi teni tso na la chewa langso na be teni dungur mambo yongre te yendi ta ngar tari yenda mada ngarang rang dungur kanani thar teni ngarang dungur kanani tharwa machat jima maung banan zambalang la teni dungur teni pena janchig yenanda teni nadi yenanda teni rangshong kap gunjik pa yenanda teni jamanda yongwi kaps teni ngarang ti mitsama la teni pandok tongken mitsama par chup tongken o teni zu shini nga yangchir ndila yung go sambi teni tamja shini teni go gore teni te samba deres.
So the third contemplative exercise is where we contemplate that if we don't practice well and we die before we are able to really engage in our practice properly, that it is inevitable that it's going to be difficult to have an opportunity like this in the future again, and that we will inevitably take rebirth in some kind of form, and that regardless of what form we take, there is going to be all kinds of suffering. We know that even if we are reborn in a human form, that in the course of human history, that humans have endured all kinds of suffering, and that indeed suffering is a really inherent part of rebirth in the human realm. So based on our reflections of this nature, we therefore generate a really strong aspiration, or we make a very strong resolution to be liberated from cyclic existence, and not just be liberated from cyclic existence ourselves, but that in respect of various kinds of suffering, illness, disaster, etc., that in the future we may return in order to help others who are suffering, to rescue them from these kinds of situations. So in practicing this particular contemplative exercise, we make a strong vow of this nature.
Teni jipati nga so li jimdre tola samlo tane ta nga so khorwandi nang la teni yang mo khashi na te chi bon rawo teni yang mo khashi na dbo yang te na mo rawo na na ya chi po tndro da teni na yang dbo te teni jamni mai ba teni mambo zio ga jimsen de kang teni samlo tang di teni li jimdre so so rang ga teni dpa margi wa mambo shina teni dbo yong ya tang teni yakbo shina yakbo yong teni ga na ton te la thuyo pa te teni samlo mambo tang ne teni shi go re teni te shi tarwi jini ota ngarang gong khorwan di na ne yar teni thar go na teni ngarang go je yakbo go je yakbo yong na teni ndre yakbo yong go ma to pa teni ngarang go ji teni te dbo tak ta le ne teni ngarang ndre yakbo yong go zina yong sa mare samne teni samlo tang go re te samlo tang sar gom thap jipa de re.
And the fourth contemplative exercise is one where we reflect on the law of karmic cause and effect. So we reflect on the fact that in cyclic existence there are beings who are happy, there are beings who are miserable. The same goes for animals. There are some that are better off than others. The situation among all beings is not equal at all. And so in performing this contemplation, we reflect on the reasons for this. We reflect on the way that negative conduct produces negative outcomes and positive conduct produces positive outcomes. And so giving much thought to this particular issue, we, in addition to generating our desire to be liberated from cyclic existence, we also make a strong resolve to engage in positive, to sow positive causes in order to see positive results. That is, we recognize that negative causes will only lead to negative results. And this is the fourth of these contemplative exercises.
Riri layang teni samlo tansar mambu yore teso tri gomzang la mi yarlong rata teso nang la mambu ndu teni teso tamche po inji ge yeke nang la ndu teni nga so inji ge teni nang la yongkeng ge teni lama tso yang mambu teni sung yore teso yak po lojong shi ni teni riri gom gyab ni teni nyamling she go re.
And in respect of each of these four contemplative meditations, it's important that we do each one by one. And there are, in terms of the specific ways that we go about reflecting, there are very detailed instructions in the words of my perfect teacher. And this is available in English, and there are also many English-speaking lamas who have given teachings on this. And so it's important that we do engage properly in these four exercises.
Gum nimjong ko sambate nam nga cho gum charba rezi nam nga cho gum yakpo te gum yakpo shongda ma shongte nga so so ranga go rewezi na te go rezi te nga so ranga mi jambala trgo mare nga so ranga o tang gum te yakpo rendu sambata tarung ne yakpo te ni chatang dambaz re mendu sambate te mo ranga go rezi.
So in practicing these contemplative, meditative exercises, how do we know when we have generated renunciation? In fact, is it possible to know for ourselves when our mind of renunciation has reached the requisite level? Indeed, this is possible to know for oneself. It's not necessary to ask another person. It is something that we are able to gauge for ourselves when our renunciation has reached an appropriate level.
Teniti kandiz rezena ta nga cho tari kona shapate nga cho ta ngai tharwa de thobna teni yakpondu te tharwa mathubni nga dinin khorwa nga la tarnga rapo shini de na teni nga rang yang dungmar mambo yonggendu teni ngemi jambala phamba yang teni thokkomendu tonda chichi mendu nyambo mendu te na teni nga rang yinda menda nga teni tharwa thobgo mendu teni tharwa de thobsona teni nga rang yang teni kirga na chi dungmar myomo ba changma mepa chakare teni ngemi janla yang teni phamba jachimbo teni drip thobgondu te na ta nga yinda menda teni tharwa thobgo samni teni samlo teni semtak teni tangni teni ta semko tangni teni semtak chopa teni zi yong charti yong yona teni nga cho ta ngim jong yapo gom charsung ngim monro jo to gom charsung zena rigorezi te mayona teni yang de samlo tango re.
And we know that we have generated a firm mind of renunciation when we have really made, or we really have a very strong resolve to achieve liberation. That is, we recognize that remaining here in cyclic existence has absolutely no meaning whatsoever, and that in addition to having no meaning whatsoever in this state, we're not able to be of effective assistance to other beings. It's absolutely necessary that we enter into the path of liberation, and in so doing, by so doing, we will be able to eliminate our own afflictions and suffering, and at the same time be of true benefit to others. So when we really have a very strong resolve to aim for liberation, to work towards liberation, and this is a fervent and strong desire or resolve that comes from the depths of our heart, then we know that we have successfully generated a mind of liberation.
Ota tendi sheni gom yapo jamni tendi shena tendi ngaso jela ngimjong yapo jeyong gore tendi ngimjong de charti tendi ngaso kamsum korwala de majimba jikita tendi yapo yong gore ta kamsum la jena ngimjong mun tendi tawang na la tendi songdo wa tendi yendi tendi kamsum la majimba je tendi rowa rikchik na ne ta zangshuti yakshuti motang lani bore Teni motang lani bola machak pa majin ba tendi yona te jamba chola majin ba tenga so hanshik yong gore te indi oda nga cho mi nang la yang demo chepon rawo kap kap si yong ndu lang nang la yong ndu ina ta te ton tak chembo men du tele ngarang thara thumna ga ndu samba samlo te yakbo z mayong go wart teni yang ne yang to gom jap go re.
So when we are able to truly generate a mind of renunciation, to generate a genuine mind of renunciation, then our practice in parting from our attachment to worldly existence will come along well. And that is in generating this, and this is what we refer to in the second of the parting, in the second parting from the four attachments. If you're attached to samsara, you do not have renunciation. So in generating renunciation, this of course involves us recognizing that of the potential positive rebirths we could have, to come again as a human or as a demigod would be the most preferable. However, even this is really meaningfulness. Liberation is the ultimate goal to which we are oriented. And until we really have this firm resolve, then it is important that we continue our meditative contemplation, that we continue to meditate on renunciation time and time again.
Ateni ngacho di jemba jipter ke shekati shatsarson teni shekati ngacho sanin shakrit.
So we have now covered the first two of the parting from the four attachments, and the remaining two we will continue to teach on tomorrow.
Sanda Jula Jabajo Nina Nyambu Nurude Tumbi Nyambu Vervajo Tumbara Dambe Churo Tojeja Jamban Jula Jungara Mebajo Labje Jando Jori Mebai Tanju Janju Zangi Toba Om